What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggle's TV Daily Rewind. This is where we go back a week and give you all of your tech news from the past 7 days in one single video. This one is episode 224, and in this one, there was some great information that came out about the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Maybe not great, but very telling information. We've got also information about that 4.1.1 update. A bunch of devices got it, so we talk about that. We talk about Pixel Fold. We talk about new Samsung folding devices as well that are coming out. So enjoy this week, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's get into it. The first story of the day has to do with the Galaxy Tab S7 series of tablets. That One UI 4.1.1 update is actually rolling out to you right now, so check for that update. The Galaxy Tab S8 series already got it. I got it on mine as well. Been debating on making a video. I've been debating so long now, it's probably a little bit too old to actually make the video, but yeah, it's rolling out right now for the Tab S7. It might not have it just yet, but keep your eyes peeled for that one. The other one is Galaxy Z Fold 3 is finally getting the 4.1.1 update as well. And remember, that's the taskbar update that adds the taskbar to the bottom of your screen. The same one that's on the S8 series, the one that's on the S7 now as well, so that when you open an app, you have that taskbar at the bottom. It's actually rolling out to the Z Fold 3 right now. I know the person that posted it was from India. So America, you probably don't have it just yet, but you will want to keep checking for updates and get that update so that you can get the latest and greatest with the 4.1.1 update. The story of the day, Pixel event is coming up. The successor to this phone right here, the Pixel 6 Pro, AKA the Pixel 7, the Pixel 7 Pro, the new Pixel Watch. They're obviously going to talk probably again about the Pixel Buds Pro, which are already released. But still, when is the event? They've officially come out and said that October 6th, 10 a.m. will be the event. October 6th is a Thursday, so exactly 30 days from right now, we will be watching and seeing the unveiling of the new Pixel products. Very, very cool stuff. They make the best cameras in the game. I still, to this day, you can give me any phone, and if I'm taking photos of people, or pretty much anything in life, I want to use a Pixel. I love the Pixel cameras. They're freaking awesome. So good and so reliable. That is the other key word, reliable. So not to say you can't get great photos with other cameras, but these are pretty much nonstop awesome. So very exciting day. Are you gonna watch it? That is the big story of the day. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, which products are you gonna pre-order? Let me know in the comments down below. Our last and most fantastic day of this news life is all about the Pixel Fold, because we've gotten some exclusive information coming out from Mr. Ross Young, and check this out. So this is what's coming out. Ross Young is saying that 4 months till the foldable Pixel smartphone starts panel production. Are you excited? I'm assuming it will launch in March. So he's saying 4 months from now, we're gonna start getting the production of their foldable panel, which is supposed to be looking more like an Oppo Find X, which is still a foldable phone akin to a Z Fold, 2, 3, or 4. It's just the shape and size and dimensions is gonna be more like an Oppo Find X. And 4 months from now, what are we in September? So you're talking October, you're talking November, December, January, and then the launch again in about March. So right around the corner, guys, new foldable phone. This should give, Google should give some hard-earned respect and competition towards that Samsung Galaxy Foldable. Now, I do expect that Samsung's gonna come out with this phone at a much lower price than the Galaxy Foldable, probably hundreds of dollars cheaper. The reason I say that is because the rumors are pointing at, it's not gonna have their newest and latest and greatest cameras. There's gonna be probably slower charging, probably like 18-watt fast charging on there. You're probably also looking at, hopefully it'll have their newest processor, which is supposed to be the Tensor 2 processor. The screen's probably not going to be as great as a Samsung Galaxy tablet, or foldable phone, I should say. So there's probably going to be things that are downgraded, but I think the greater good that comes out of this is that you're going to get a foldable phone with very solid to good to great cameras on there. But also at the same time, it's probably going to have a price of less than $1,500. I think it's gonna be less than $1,500. I think if they downgrade some of the things that I think they're gonna downgrade in, would not shock me at all if they get it into $1,200 or $1,300 categories. We'll wait and see. The story of the day has to do with the Galaxy Watch 5 and 5 Pro. A new update was pushed out yesterday. I actually got it, and I forgot to talk about it. So it is about 103 megs, and what it does is it improves GPS, stability, reliability, all that kind of stuff, and you can download it right now. You should be able to just go in through your watch. You might have a notification for it, or go into the app, that Galaxy wearable app, go into watch settings and then updates, and you can install it that way as well. But it is going on right now. Grab it if you haven't already, and you should be all good with that one. Last story of the day has to do with the Galaxy Z Fold 4. And what specifically about it? Well, it's the trade-ins. And if you know and you traded in a device to Samsung, you might have run into this where you trade in your device and they reject it for whatever reason. Maybe you didn't reset it. It has some kind of thing wrong with it that you said it was not wrong with it. Whatever, they're just not fully accepting it, or they're not accepting it at all. So you don't get that full trade-in value or any trade-in value at all. What do you have as backup? What can you do to rectify that issue? If you know for sure that you've run into this issue and you know it's not an issue because you dealt with it and you know it's perfect, or you did reset it, what are your options? Well, it looks like somebody on Reddit has run into this issue. I see this quite a bit. But basically, the gist of the story says that he received an email stating that the trade-in device had been rejected due to the device not being reset. So he said he did his homework before that, meaning that he recorded the video of every step of this process, showing the date and time, the IMEI, the phone condition, working display, showing the reset screen. He made a video, took photos of all of that stuff. And what he did is he went on to Samsung's website and chatted with them, or called them. I mean, he doesn't really specifically say, at least from what I can see here. And the Samsung agent asked him if he specifically reset the device before sending, and he said yes. And I have video proof. And he said they quickly approved the trade-in. And he just wanted to create this post to tell people, you basically, don't freak out, but before you send it in, take pictures, take video, take all of that, every step of the way, so that if you do run into this problem, you have video and photo backup showing that you boxed it up and you reset it and then it's in perfect condition, and that you dropped it off to the FedEx location or UPS location, however it's getting sent out. So I personally didn't do it, but it is something I'm probably going to do in the future, just in case I've run into this issue. I know Samsung has my device right now, at least mine. They probably have my wife's yet, but I haven't gotten an email. But I got an email yesterday saying that they received mine, and I'm hoping that they're gonna approve mine, because I unfortunately didn't take photos and videos of it, but I know I reset it and I know it's in good condition or perfect condition from there. Same thing with my wife's phone. So it is something to know that if you do have an issue with your trade-in with Samsung, definitely go and call or chat with Samsung online and explain your situation and see if they can reverse that issue of you not getting the full or all the trade-in value. Story of the day has to do with a new commercial that Samsung has put out about the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and making people that have iPhones. I'll link the full video down below if you want to watch it, but basically the way it goes is it shows a girl, two girls actually, two women, they both basically, one has a Galaxy Z Flip phone, the Flip 4, and then another one has an iPhone. She doesn't say an iPhone, but you know it's an iPhone. And the person that has the iPhone is kind of an eye sheep, meaning she's just following the herd. And then she sees this other girl's Galaxy Z Flip 4 and how it closes and opens, and then she starts to see all these different things in life that also open and close, from refrigerator doors to someone's hand going like this when they wave, to all kinds of different things. So it was kind of funny. Definitely check it out. And I've said it before, I just love when companies kind of go after each other in a playful way. And this is definitely super playful and kind of interesting. They're really pushing the Z Flip 4, just like they have in the past, as like a fun, playful device that will enhance your life. Because they always show it like, oh, look, you can stand up and you can take a photo. But I mean, whatever. It's kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think about it. And our last story of the day, this kind of goes hand in hand with what we spoke about yesterday, which if you didn't see my video yesterday, I highly recommend you going back and watching it. Yesterday's video, we talked about when you trade in your phone for whatever phone you do with Samsung, sometimes there's issues. There was a lot of people in the comments yesterday who were like, same thing happened to me. I did this, I did that. But basically what we talked about yesterday is someone sent in their trade-in for their Galaxy Z Fold 4, and the trade-in, quote unquote, was not what was expected, and Samsung basically wasn't gonna give them the full amount, and they had to go through the customer support to get it rectified. And this is kind of the same thing, but getting a Galaxy Z Flip 4 and not liking it and returning it, and Samsung coming back and saying, you know what you sent wasn't the same thing. So let's check this out. Again, I found this from Reddit, and on Reddit, the full story goes, getting scammed by Samsung return warehouse. I bought a Flip 4 a week ago and had to return it because it was not my liking. I received an email. The return was unsuccessful. There was a video attached to the email. In the video, it shows the guy opening the box, and the box has some kind of headphones and a charger. At this point, I'm beyond pissed and fuming at what I saw. This is clearly not what I sent. Someone is scamming buyers at the Samsung warehouse. I called Samsung and they are supposedly looking into it. And here is going, this is a positive, here is hoping it's a positive outcome. I hope this hasn't happened to anyone else. And if it has, please contact them so the scumbag pulling this crap is caught. But basically what ends up being said, and I think this is probably what happened, it's not probably so much something that happened at Samsung, but it's something that happens potentially at the shipping. So this guy said, happened to me with my trade-in. It was most likely stolen from FedEx workers. Go file a police report, escalate it via Samsung chat, keep trying, and hopefully it'll get resolved. And they said, you are right. This is the guy that started the initial conversation of what happened to him. He's saying, you are right. I just checked the return shipment and it was duplicated. Looks like it was sent to 2 different addresses. Too bad the moron who stole it. The phone is now locked and they have no way of activating it. So I guess the moral of this story is if you return a device to Samsung and they say, hey, the phone's not in there, or it's a completely different device in there, your best bet is to obviously do your groundwork in terms of seeing if Samsung will just fix it on their end, saying that you did send it, but also take photos and videos of you boxing it up, just like we talked about yesterday. That would be a really helpful thing. Even videos and photos of you actually dropping it off at the FedEx or UPS center of where you're dropping it off, keeping the receipts for that stuff, but then also going into UPS and checking if they actually, there's duplicated, tracking numbers, or if it went to the right location. And then also telling Samsung, hey, you know what, I did send this, I have all this proof, maybe they'll just reverse it at that point. And then worst comes to worst, potentially filing a police report, and then telling Samsung, hey, I filed this police report. I have all this, backup information. I gave it to them, and hopefully it gets rectified with them at that point. But kind of a scary situation. I don't think Samsung's alone, obviously, in this happening to them. It probably happens to more people than not. So I would maybe, if it's a big expensive item, you might want to do this with almost everybody at that point. But one and only story today has to do with if you break or get a scratch on your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, what are your options? And is it really scratched or really broken? That comes into play as well, because this has kind of happened to me in the past, and I know it's happened to others in the past, and what are your options? So let's just dive right in. So this is the story. I learned about this from Reddit, at least this issue, and the guy put, give me all your suggestions on what to do about this scratch. And you can see when we take a closer look at it, you can see a scratch kind of towards the top of the photo right there going across the display, and you can tell it's a scratch, obviously. And basically he went into the comments saying, hey, what are my options? Does anyone have any ideas? One of the options and ideas was, hey, you know what? If you just got your Flip 4 or Fold 4, it says breathe easy with Samsung Care Plus for your Z Flip or Fold 4. Enjoy 3 months on us. And basically it continues to go on to say that you can sign up for Samsung Care with 60 days of purchase protection of your eligible headset. So as long as you sign up within the first 60 days of Samsung Care Plus, I believe you get, it sounds like 3 months for free, and then you can cancel whenever you want. And then ultimately, if you can keep it, I think for up to 2 years it is, and pay that monthly fee. So he could theoretically, maybe, sign up for this and then go get it fixed at one of the repair centers or send it off to get repaired. The other option is, his happened on the outside display, and this year with the Z Fold 4, they don't have a screen protector on the outside of the display. But if it happened on the inside of the display, there's a really high chance that the scratch is only on the screen protector itself, which at that point you can just peel it off. Your phone will be fine, don't worry, it will still work, nothing's gonna be out of warranty, don't worry. Just take it off and you're fine at that point. And if you want, you could always go to a Samsung authorization store and have them put a new one on, or buy a third-party one and put it on yourself, and go that route. Because I know when I had, I forget what phone it was, I did a video on it. I want to say like the S21 Ultra, and they had the screen protector on there. And I took it off, I was like, damn, it's not scratched. Maybe it was Z Fold 2, I can't remember. But ultimately, the screen protector had the scratch, the phone didn't. I was a little worried about it. So that could be the issue too, is it's just on the screen protector and you just need to peel that off if it's bothering you and get rid of that scratch. Otherwise, I would say probably go the Samsung Care route, especially if it's on the outside of the display. And it's scratched, and get that fixed up and not really pay anything more for it. It'd probably only be like a $29 fee at most if you have the insurance on there. Story of the day is Samsung is back at it, trying to humiliate Apple at their own game in terms of phone game. So let's check this tweet out. So Samsung put out a advertisement saying 48 megapixels. You're almost there, Apple. We've had 108 megapixels for 2 years, 6 months, and 4 days. So basically they're making fun of Apple finally coming up to 48 megapixels on their cameras. And now obviously Samsung's had 108 megapixels on their high-end S phones for, like they said, about almost 2 years now. Even the Z Fold 4 has 50 megapixels and just got it though. But still, megapixels don't tell the whole story. You look at Pixel phones that had 12 megapixel cameras for a really long time, taking really, really nice photos. So it's not just the only thing. Having megapixels doesn't mean you have great photo taking abilities, but it does take good photos, don't get me wrong, and you can get some great photos. But still, it doesn't tell the whole story. The software has to do with it, and how that all, the algorithm of how the software takes the photo and then composes it and makes it look what it looks like, have it be at nighttime or during the day, or then the color scheme and everything that goes along with it. And speaking of the cameras on the iPhone and on the Galaxy phones, he goes on to say, this is Ice Universe saying, 100% confirmed the S23 Ultra main camera will be less than 200 megapixels, or I guess 200 megapixels. And then he shows off the different sizes and the apertures and things like that. It's only slightly bigger than the iPhone 14 Pro and smaller than any other Android flagship phone sensors in 2023. Goes on to say that the 22 and 23 Ultras are identical in thickness, and the rear camera design is also the same on both of those phones. It is impossible to use a much larger main sensor. Let's see how big a 1-inch sensor is, and he kind of shows the different sizes of the sensors on here that it would be on the back of the phone. You can see a 1-inch sensor is huge. He also says to update the iPhone 14 Pro 48 megapixel sensor specification is also 1 1/3 inch, which means that Samsung and Apple are consistent, aka the same, and Samsung has always regarded Apple as its main rival. And obviously a bigger sensor, if you didn't know, allows more light and allows you to get better quality looking photos, and that's really why you would want a bigger sensor. And it's one of the things, like, you know, when you record video or take photos with a phone, it looks generally really good. But then if you really compare it against a really nice camera, especially when the video I record on this, I think it looks pretty freaking good. And if I recorded this with my phone, it would still look good, but if you compare them side by side, you would notice quite a big difference because of the bigger sensor on this camera. And our last story of the day has to do with the taskbar on the new Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the update that came out to the Z Fold 3. And the taskbar, if you didn't know, is this. It's this little thing down here that has all this row of apps. And if you don't see that and you go into settings and you can't activate it, there's a reason for that. Well, here it is. And because I kind of forgot to tell you guys this, but ultimately I found this on Reddit saying that the Android 12L update has reached him on the Z Fold 3, but the taskbar option is grayed out. And does anyone know of any ideas to why? And you can see right there under the display settings of the Galaxy phone, you can see taskbar is grayed out. He can't turn it on or turn it off. It shows that it's on, but he can't turn it on or off basically. And wanted to know why. And the reason is, only way to use that taskbar, seemingly right now anyway, is if you use the Samsung launcher. So if you use like any other launcher, it's not going to work. And I can't think of any off the top of my head, so let me just, Nova's one, Microsoft launcher, Niagara launcher, iOS 16 launcher, Smart Launcher, Launcher. It's not gonna work with that. So in order to use that taskbar feature, you will have to use just the plain old Samsung launcher on here. If you're curious how to set that back, just go into settings again on your phone and then go to default apps. Just type default apps at the top and you'll see choose default apps. And one of those default apps, here we go, choose default apps, is going to be the home app. Click on that. And if you have another one in there, just choose the One UI Home, and then you'll be all set and you'll be able to use and turn on that feature in settings. So take advantage of that. Story of the day is a new product that's been trademarked by Samsung that potentially will come out that is a little bit of a tablet and a phone mixed into one. So this is what is being reported, is that Samsung has trademarked Flex G, which is a dual folding smartphone tablet hybrid. And this stuff gets wilder and wilder in terms of what we could see in the future for new devices coming from Samsung and also other manufacturers, but Samsung's really at the forefront of pushing these kind of new devices out, which is always exciting to see. And the basically the trademark that went out on this, these are the example screenshots that they put in with it to give you a little bit of a description and look at potentially what could be the future of what we see with this device. And to add on to this, I think that's where the exciting part of this comes from, is like having that probably even bigger experience than a Z Fold phone and having it and then maybe a lot more so, like to make a really even bigger, huger splash in your life. So again, I love this kind of stuff and I think it's very, very exciting. Next up, check this out. This is a Z Fold 3 moon photo. And when, look at it. This is what we used to have to deal with. Now, you probably could get a slightly better one if you went into pro mode on the Z Fold 3, but still, this is like auto mode. And when you go into auto mode and take a Z Fold 4 moon photo, it's so much better. So much better. It's amazing. Not only can you get closer, but you can also, just the quality of the photo is good. And then if you even go to an S22 Ultra and get the 100X, it's like even better. But still, it's amazing. That's one of the big changes, is that zoom, 30X space zoom on the Z Fold 4. Z Fold 3 had, I think at most you could do like 10X or something like that on it. So it's amazing, amazing, amazing. Great job so far with all this stuff. And it's obviously going to get better and better as time goes on with this stuff. But what do you guys do? Have you been taking a lot of moon photos with your Z Fold 4? Or if not, what kind of zoomed out photos are you taking? Let me know in the comments down below. And our last story of the day is about the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and a potential defect or issue that's going on with the phones. Now, I look at mine and I don't have this issue. I've never had it on any of my folding phones. It might be a one-off situation for this guy, but ultimately it is something to know, and hopefully if it is an issue, we'll get the word out about it. But basically, there seems to be a little bit of bubbling or paint coming off on the hinge here of the phone. I found this on Reddit. The guy said, so this just happened. My Z Fold 4 hinge paint is bubbling / peeling off. And when we just look through these photos, you can see on the kind of the edge of the hinge, you can see it just kind of bubbling up, falling off. Kind of weird. He said he's got Samsung's care is going to be at his house by the time he put this post in about 10 hours. So it sounds like they're headed over there. I don't know if this was I guess this was yesterday or today, that they're going to ultimately fix his phone for him or give him a replacement. But it is something to know. Obviously, no phone is perfect. Every phone's going to have issues. When the new iPhones come out, I can almost guarantee we're going to hear a lot of stories about that stuff. But as you know, the folding phones are a little bit more, you have to be a little bit more gentle with them, more so than a traditional candy bar phone. I still have, hardware-wise, besides a software issue or something, I don't really have any issues with my phone so far. Everything's been running really, really well on it, and everything looks really good too. So I think the majority of the people, there's absolutely zero issues. There's always going to be people with some issues, but for me, no issues so far. Let me know about you guys. Have you had any physical issues with your Galaxy Z Fold 4 where it was either a defect or it broke somehow? Let us know in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.